So we're recording now. Hello everybody. My name is Silta, and welcome to my podcast, the Clickercast. I know I haven't recorded anything in a while for it, and I apologize. I'm a month late, but I have a special guest here today, coming straight from Germany. It's my friend Hypohate.
Wow, special.
Yes,
Thanks.
all my friends are special.
Oh, okay.
So technically, that would make you average.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that now.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to insult.
It's fine, I'm used to it.
Oh, I don't say that
Anyways.
now. Anyways, so yeah, like I said, I haven't recorded anything for ClickCast. That's the name of the podcast. I had to double check, and I thought I would just have my friend Hypohate here, and we would just discuss the various things in our home countries. Because I live in America, as some of you know, and he's from Germany. I figured we'd
Hell
discuss those things. So, where do we begin?
Oh man, there's so many things.
There is.
I think one of the biggest, like a few of the biggest things that interest me the most of America is like the differences in the school system and also like health care stuff. Because those are so much different. Right?
I don't know Germany's healthcare system, but I think I don't even know much about Germany's school system.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. It just like from what I see online and like read online, it's a little bit different, or quite different, if you will. Like, for example, maybe that's a stupid thing to name at first, but like lockers and stuff, that's not really a thing in Germany. Like, you just carry your backpack with you everywhere.
Yes, I never got to experience lockers in my
Yeah.
schooling because I was in middle school and you don't get lockers until like high school or late middle school. And I transferred from 6th grade to a private, like, little tiny Christian school. This is a church building for their next 6 years. 6? Yeah, that's right. For the next 6 years, I just carried everything on me in, like, backpacks from classroom to
Yeah.
classroom.
I hate it.
I did want to have a locker, though. I thought that was really cool when I was a little kid. I always wanted to have my own locker I could personalize and stuff.
Me too. Oh, man, like in middle school, you can get a locker, but there's like maybe 8 or 16 in total in the whole school. Like, you have to pay for it monthly. So sometimes if someone in your classroom, like in your class, would have a locker, you would just ask them if they could, hide something for you, or not hide, but like keep my book till next class, so I don't have to carry it home. Like, backpacks can get very heavy with all these books.
Oh man, mine was very heavy because private schools don't hold back on the huge books they give you to study over. Jesus.
Really?
I mean, I'm surprised I don't have horrible back problems. Like, genuinely, it was very rough.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things right now. That there are, I don't know how it is in America, but there are some schools in Germany that like they try to avoid books and stuff, and they do things electronic, like they give kids iPads and shit like that.
Some schools in America do that now too. The more, how do I word it? The more, I don't want to say privileged, but the schools that have more money coming in, I would say.
Yeah.
Like poverty schools, that sounds horrible. Schools that don't have as much funding, they do still rely on books here in America. I know that from the public school systems, because I did have friends that continue to go to it.
Yeah, I guess that's how it is. I know those types of school are like experimental in a way because
Yeah.
they also like let the children go to school like kind of late, like 10 a.m. or so, or
Jeez, I wish
9.
I went to
I,
that kind of school.
don't quote me, but I know that they know that waking up that early to go to school is bad and stuff. So they're
Yeah.
like, let's but yeah. Another thing I know about American schools is that apparently they hang up a flag in every classroom. Is that right?
I'm
That's
trying to
what I heard.
remember from when I went to the public school system. I know it used to be mandatory that you stood up and like pledged allegiance and said like under God and all in my country school system,
Wow.
and that was very controversial. And they completely revoked that line, I believe, from the school like oath. I don't know what you call it. It's like I pledge allegiance to the flag, and you should do that every morning. When I was growing up, they used to have it say under God, one nation under God, but they took it out as I grew up, and a lot of people were very upset about that.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, that's not. If you did that in Germany, I don't think that, would look very good.
I don't think it looks good for America, honestly. Like,
No.
if you're not religious, that's fine. Just don't say that part. But to
Mm.
revoke it completely from the pledge, our country's flag, that's a little extreme.
Maybe.
Ah,
It's
well.
pretty. Poof. Yeah.
It was a big deal. One of my teachers got fired because she let us pray before eating lunch. It was
What?
in 6th grade, my science teacher, who I loved very much. She was so great and nice to me. She was a very religious lady. She felt really bad about teaching us the theory of evolution, which, by the way, really messed me up as a kid, coming from like a religious
Oh.
family.
Oh God.
But aside from that, she would let us pray before lunch every day. And one of the kids decided to tell on her for it, and she got fired. Like the
What?
last few months before I transferred. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Damn.
like the schooling system used to be a little bit of American history. Schooling system used to be private in a sense that it wasn't very government lenient, and like it didn't lean on the government for support. So, most of the early school systems were from like churches, for example. They taught a lot of the knowledge. And as we became more modernized, I guess that would be the term to use, we became more lenient on the government for our schooling system at the cost of like that religious teachings, which they weren't strict back then either. I believe it was the Church versus Wade incident is what they called it. I could be wrong. I'm not a historian, but I did learn about it in my school, which they don't teach in public school system. But basically, a mother complained and tried to sue a private school for teaching evolution to her kids or something. And it caused a huge,
Oh.
like a huge fuss. So it was then decided that government schools would be a thing at the cost of like teaching any kind of religious values and morals. It became strictly educational. So yes, schooling in America used to teach you not only education but morals. They don't do that as much now, and it shows. It really shows.
Huh.
I don't know the history of like German schools though.
I don't either, sadly.
That's fine.
Do you like have, I don't know how to say it, like religion classes? Like a specific class that teaches you about one specific religion. More so because your family is in that way religious.
Are you asking for the public school system or the school I went to?
Public.
No, they do not teach any form of. They teach history of religion, but they don't teach it in depth. Like they don't tell you why they believe this or why they do this,
Yeah.
or the origins of the religion. They don't teach you much religion in school.
Mm-hmm.
But I did go to a
Well,
private Christian. Sorry,
yeah. No,
I
I
went to
interrupted.
a private Christian school, and they did teach us various religions, which I'll be honest, I do thank them for that because the schooling system that we used was more open about other religions. They didn't try to like box in our mindset. And that's what I like about the private school system in America. Government schools box in your thinking process. They don't really let you do a lot of outside thinking. It's very cookie cutter system, if that makes sense. That's what a lot of people refer to it as.
Really?
So yeah, it's just a cookie cutter system of okay, teach them this, move on. Teach them this, move on. Any questions? No, you don't have any. No time for that.
I mean, I
And
think I don't know how it is in other countries, but I know that's kind of what it is like in Germany too. Just one topic to the next. You know. The reason why I was asking, in elementary school, and I'm not too sure if that's what it was, but there was there were two different classes. One was like a in quote religion class. That's what we call it. And one, I don't know if that's the correct translation, but like ethics class or something like that. Uh,
ethics? That sounds right.
ethics, yeah, something like that. And so in the ethic class, you would get taught like about different religions and just things about a human being and stuff like that. But in
Sex
the
ed?
religion class, repeat that one.
Sex ed? Is that what you're talking
Um,
about? The
no, no,
human
no, no, no,
body?
no. No, as in like family stuff and connections as a human being.
No, I've never heard of that in our public school system. I did, of course, learn that in a family-orientated church school, but
Mm. Yeah, no, that's what we had, and I don't remember if that's how it was with the religion class, but I used to go to a religion class in elementary school, and I think they were just teaching Christian stuff, just that. Um, and I think that's because for parents that want their kids to be like protected from, in quotes, protected uh, from getting knowledge of different religions. I think that's the reason why they did that. But I'm not too sure if I really only got taught things about Christian religion.
um, see, I'm kind of against that. I'm very
Mm,
for not shielding your children.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
to a degree, of course. I'm not gonna sit there and like play ISIS beheadings in front of my child,
Jesus
because
Christ.
that's effed up.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should see that.
No,
To be
I've never
honest,
seen it. Thank God.
no. Yeah, yeah. Don't try to look it up.
But yeah, don't do that.
Uh, yeah. I don't know. I also had a friend in middle school. Uh, and during sex ed, uh, she like didn't go to that class while we got taught about like sex and stuff. Apparently, because her parents just they said something along the lines of like it's against our religion to learn about these things or something like that. And so she just didn't go to that class,
Hmm. I
which
don't.
I find also a little.
I think
Hmm,
that's ignorance right there. No, insult to your friend, of course, but
nah.
when a
I
religion
mean,
tries to block you from knowledge, I that's where I start calling it ignorance.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think it is important for a kid to like
Oh, it's very important.
get the chance to learn about different religions, because maybe the kid, you know, likes a different religion than they currently own a
In
lot
their
more.
household, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and hound someone for believing in something else.
hmm It's like, I don't know. It's also like, fuck, not to like get into to religion right now too
Yeah.
much, but like, um, that's also like a reason why I don't see the issue some people have about uh not religious people. Like,
Atheist,
I
yeah.
know, yeah, atheist. I didn't know the word right now. I know like some people complain like not having a religion and shit, like, but I don't see what the issue with that is, because if I have struggle believing in a higher being that, you know, watches over us, then I don't know.
I
I don't.
understand.
Yeah. Uh,
Coming from someone who's again, I don't want to get into religion. This is not the religion episode.
yeah.
Coming from someone who is very science and logic based, that's how I describe myself. Like I'm very
Mhm.
scientific and I'm a logical thinker. It's very hard for me to kind of stay a grip to my religion, or at
Mm.
least my beliefs. I'm not a church goer. I forgot the term, but there's a term for Christians who don't really believe in the church, but, still follow the religion.
Oh yeah. I don't know.
But I don't like churches too much because I feel like that gives too much power to one man who's leads the church. And anyways,
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
you want
It's,
to talk about junk food in in Germany and America?
oh man.
I know that. Yeah, I
You
know you
can't.
got a lot to say about that.
I mean, it is all opinion based, right? Some
Yeah,
people may like it more, other people don't. But you cannot compare American fast food, or like junk food, frozen foods, whatever, to fucking German frozen slash junk foods. It's so superior, and like I understand so much why the population of America is like 30% of it is like overweight. I understand. I get it.
yeah.
uh,
There's been so much research conducted, and I'm just mesmerized by how we still let it happen.
I
Like
mean,
we have facts to back up the ways to fix this, and people
I mean, you cannot change one's, mindset,
desires. Yeah,
desires. Yeah,
the
that's
sweet desires and temptation of Burger King.
a hamburger. Yeah, I
Um,
mean that's what it is. That's why it's so hard to actually, go training, lose weight and stuff.
yeah.
Like, fuck.
One
Why
reason
should
I
I?
go on.
Sorry.
No, go
Why
on.
should I? Why should I go to a gym and like exhaust myself to the point of, when I come home, I just want to face plant into my bed. If I could just instead go to a nice restaurant and have a nice burger and some fries, or I could even buy just a frozen pizza and go home and enjoy that pizza, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. Americans, we tend to. I'm not saying this isn't the case for other countries, but we tend to work a lot, and
Yeah.
so to compensate for that time that we missed that we could prepare for like decent meals, we just grab something like McDonald's on the way home with a big fat Coke, because the we've talked about this, but like
Oh,
the
yeah.
sizes, our beverage sizes are so much more ridiculous compared to other countries, especially Germany.
Yeah. Oh,
So
God.
you gotta think people are just coming home every day after work, grabbing something from their favorite fast food place with this large soda containers, and ugh.
Yeah, you just don't think about it if you like work all the time. And that's another thing. Uh, I don't know why, but America, fucking most stores stay open all day long. not like 24 hours, but like 7 days a week. You know, like every day, even Sundays. In Germany, most stores close on Sundays. Like you cannot do shit on Sundays. So that's why I hate Sundays. Like you want to go somewhere, maybe just chill out in IKEA or some shit. Oh, no, it's closed on Sunday, so can't do shit. So I understand why people are very overworked.
Yeah. It's like, ugh, it's just like we see the problems, we just don't fix them. It's come down to ignorance at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. You can say that about a lot of problems. Ignorance.
Honestly, that's just my biggest pet peeve in people and like society. But yeah.
Yeah.
We did get a question from someone on Twitter.
So that's so.
Yeah, what's the difference between social norms, schools, and music? We've kind of already discussed school.
I mean, social norms. Like what way?
I don't know. Like, I know in America, I don't know. Like, social norms would be things like holding the door for a woman or
Yeah.
taking your shoes off before you enter a house, which Americans don't do that. We just walk in with our shoes on a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's
Why
normal.
the fuck do you do that?
Listen,
Why?
Personally, I understand other countries and why they take their shoes off because it's gross. You drag in dirt and stuff.
Like, what's the reason why you would vacuum everything? It gets dirty anyways if you step on it with your shoes. See what I mean?
Yeah,
So, what's your opinion on wearing shoes inside the house?
I'm doing it right now. I'm wearing my dirty shoes inside.
Why would you do that?
I just came home. I'm like, all right, I don't really want to get my feet dirty, so I'm just gonna wear my shoes.
What do you mean get them dirty? Is your floor dirty?
No, I vacuumed it yesterday, and I'm
Why?
so proud of myself. I cleaned it up.
Yeah, good boy, but fucking
It's just like
wearing your dirty shoes makes it all dirty again.
it's a bad habit. I know. I was just raised this way. I was raised as a little gremlin creature. I walk around with shoes on. Actually, that's not true. I don't wear shoes often inside the house. Only when I'm coming in from somewhere. If I'm like staying home for the rest of the day, I'm kicking my shoes off.
Oh god, yeah.
It's just a huge thing in America.
I don't understand. Like, I can understand if you were to like put on your shoes because you go outside, but then, for example, you have to wait for like your public transport or something for a few minutes, and so you maybe go into the living room and sit down for a little bit. Other than that, no, there's no reason for you to keep your shoes on.
How do you feel about wearing your shoes in bed? I hate it.
What kind of question is that? Do people do that?
Some people do that.
What?
And it's just like, how?
Why?
What compelled you to do this sinful act?
Okay, like wearing shoes in your room, maybe, but on the bed, on the fucking bed,
Yeah.
I'm offended.
But yeah, I mean, I just don't wear shoes inside my own home. If I'm going to someone else's house, yeah, I'm probably gonna keep my shoes on. Because that's like,
would people think you're weird if you took your shoes off?
Oh yeah, they would definitely think you're weird if you just take
What?
your shoes off. And
Oh god.
I think it's weird personally. Like, I don't know why, but I've had a friend come over, and every time he like takes his shoes off, I'm like, just walking around barefoot in my room. It's weird.
Okay, well, barefoot is maybe not the way to go. You know, at least with socks.
Yeah.
If you're a guest, wear socks, please.
But I know it's a huge thing in other countries, especially in Japan.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah. I like the way they do it in Japan. Like they have a
man,
little
Japan has some
step
strange
thing.
customs. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like a little little porch kind of.
Japan is so superior to all other countries.
One thing I can never do that's a very huge custom in their country is to eat with your mouth open.
What?
Eating with your mouth open. I learned this very recently. Eating with your mouth open in Japan shows respect to the cook and showing them that you enjoy your meal.
No. Fuck that.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I've been trained, and I want to slap people when they eat with their mouth open in front of me. So I'd just be slapping Japanese people.
If that is an actual
gross.
thing, I don't. Yeah, nothing.
Especially like the noodle suck, you know they do that a lot. The noodle suck.
Yeah.
The noodle suck. Lee noodle suck has arrived. No, it's that's also like a sign that you properly enjoyed the meal, and it's like polite to the chef to show that you're just sucking on the noodle that he cooked for you.
Man, I will tell the chef that I like his food.
Yeah, I mean, so will I.
If that is an actual thing, I'm actually a little upset.
That's what I've heard from several people, unless it's false information, which now I'm worried I just gave false information.
Disclaimer: don't quote us on anything.
Rules for dream. God, it's Kotaku article. But yeah, I mean, it's just they're very open to the manners of foreigners, though. They're not like gonna be upset.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. You can't expect a foreigner to know the social norms. Like,
Apparently, they love Americans, though. Redheads.
I bet. Oh wow. If I, as a German, go to Japan, do you think they wouldn't find me as interesting?
I think they would just love you over there. I mean, they probably think I'm straight from one of their animes. I got white hair going on.
Oh, that's one thing I heard. Like, what was it? Like having colorful hair is like so weird apparently in Japan.
Is it? I guess so.
That's
I mean, all
what
their...
I heard. Something like that. Something about colors.
I feel like it'd be
Something along
hip with the
that.
newer generations.
I mean,
I think
fuck
that's
yeah.
for like Japanese boomers.
Jesus.
Is that a thing? Oh, that sounds
I mean,
insulting. Like,
I mean,
older generations of Japan?
Is the term boomers offensive in general? It's just a term.
I mean, it depends how you
Describe
take it.
something.
To me, I think it's funny, but I'm pretty sure boomers are just people who were born during the baby boom of like 1960?
Something like that. I'm not too fond with the...
Yeah, baby boomer. It's for the generation born between 1946 and 1964.
Oh, okay. I see.
So, yeah, I guess it's an American thing. Sorry, it's not out of the country. Because we had a huge rise in population during that era in America. Because everyone was living the American dream.
Ah, yeah.
Ah, God, look at us now. Fighting over statues in old cemeteries about a civil war that was fought 200 years ago.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know shit about the Civil War.
I used to be crazy about the Civil War.
Is that
Now
why
I'm
you
just
know so
like-
much?
I guess. I actually was pretty invested in it.
Wow.
A lot of people are very misinformed on the Civil War, though. They think it was a war fought about slavery in America. That was not the case. It was more so about the independence of the South, because they wanted to separate from the northern states as a union and Confederates. And Abraham Lincoln was like, nah, dog, we're going to start slaughtering our own brothers because they're going to join us. Yeah.
Sounds like a saucy fight.
Don't word it like that. But no, it was a horrible... You said saucy fight?
Saucy as in like a lot of blood.
Oh. Yeah, literal brothers, people born from the same mother killing each other. Yes,
Good save. Oof.
it
Man,
was
yeah, that sounds
god
horrible.
awful. All because I say we, I don't want to group myself with the South. But I do live in the southern states. The South wanted to divide from the northern states because they weren't too happy with the conditions of the United States of America.
Mm,
And it started with the Civil War, which is very unfortunate.
huh.
Anyways,
Yeah, in Germany, I'm not too sure. I hope I remember this correctly, but I think like the only things we get taught is like things that happen in Europe happened in like the Europe area.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe there's a few things like a few American things, but like nothing like the Civil War, as far as I know. But the thing is, I dropped out of school, so I wouldn't know. uh,
I wouldn't beat yourself up about it. You can learn knowledge anywhere.
yeah, if you know, it doesn't make a difference if I learn about it in school and then
I
forget
mean,
about it anyways because it doesn't interest me anyways. If it does interest me, I will look it up.
right now I'm learning about genetics. What else? Microbiology and just biology in general from textbooks I got online.
Oh,
So it's not like I'm going to school for it. I'm just learning it at home.
oh, so did you actually buy books for it?
Yeah, I mean they're used, of course, but they're in very good condition.
Mm,
Like
yeah,
you would have thought they're new.
I don't remember what I wanted. Oh, I wanted to buy something because, like, I want to buy a garden next year. So I was
Garden?
thinking about, yeah, a garden.
Thought you said gun for a minute. I'm like, okay.
So, and I wanted to get a book about, the basics of gardening. But I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking, like, I don't need a book if I can look it up for free online.
That's true, and
Yeah,
I agree
that's
with
why.
you.
Yeah,
But I still like books.
yeah, I do like books too. I don't have too many, but I like them. I
And I
have
know
one book that I really like.
what
I
I'm gonna.
think you would too.
I might. What is it?
Shit. I don't know the name right now, and
Never
it's,
mind then.
it's too much of a hassle to grab it.
Um, what was I gonna say? I know it's gonna sound weird, but I do better reading on physical stuff rather than on a screen, and that's really weird. It's just I still get distracted so easily reading things on a screen, but when I open a
Yeah,
book, I can read it more.
yeah, I think I get it. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the same thing with me, right? Like getting distracted when you're like on your computer doing something. Like how I like want to draw, but then I get distracted sometimes and I just rail off. I think, having a book in front of you, keeps you at it. Sitting on
Mm-hmm.
a computer just is an open invitation to just open up YouTube, for example, and do
Yeah,
something
and you
else
can
instead.
just binge for like 3 hours without realizing it.
Yep.
Ugh. So
Yeah.
another thing I kind of wanted to talk about that my one of my followers asked about was
Mhm.
music in Germany.
Oh. Hmm.
Because personally, I don't think I've heard much German music. I've listened to
Uh.
Swedish bands before, like Swedish punk bands.
Hmm. I mean, personally, I am not the biggest fan of German music. But the thing is, in general, I am a lot more comfortable uh, speaking and talking English than I am with German. And so I sometimes think like reading things and listening to German music is like a little cringe. Like it just sounds a bit weird in a way, but
Mm-hmm.
it's harder for an American because like you can't understand German unless you actually learned it, like went out of your way to learn it, and so you can't really know the difference between it. Yeah, I think most Germans like like to make either indie music or like rap. I like indie, but rap is not my thing.
Neither is it for me. I don't like rap too much. Indie I love.
Yeah,
Oh man.
there's a few rappers that I occasionally listen to, but I don't know. Like the ones like the in quote classic ones where they just rap about money and bitches and stuff like that. It's not my.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's just. It's the equivalent of old country songs that are like. A bottle of whiskey, got my bitch on my lap. It's just like. It's trash. I don't like it. Yeah, that's my attempt at a southern singing accent voice thing. There's a song about making whiskey out of corn, I think. It's like raining whiskey or something. And it's just about a... I don't know. I don't remember. It was like something about making whiskey from some kind of plant. And then it was just like making love in my tractor with my girl. And I'm just like,
Oh god.
what? It's
Getting
just
distracted from work, eh?
I
Oh
guess
god.
so. Yeah, getting distracted in the cornfields with my tractor and my girl. It's just trash. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's just weird. It leaves a nasty taste in my ears. Taste in my ears? Anyways. But I imagine most other countries don't... I don't want to assume, but don't have that kind of like trash lyrics. I could be wrong, but
I think, man, I don't want to like reach too far with that, but I think the equivalent to that would be folk music. Have you ever heard like classic
I like
German?
folk music.
I don't. I don't.
Well, it depends
The
what we
Germans-
perceive as folk music.
True. German folk music is what do they sing about? It's like mostly about like the mountains, like the Alps and stuff like that. Just being happy, drinking beer, I think. I don't listen to any folk music whatsoever, but yeah, those are classics. And there's still people like do you have like America's just like superstar type thing, like a TV show? America's Next Superstar, some shit. Is that a thing? I think it is.
We have oh god. My grandma and mom used to watch it. American Idol.
American Idol.
It's where they have people who are not known come on, show their talents, which is typically singing. I hate it. I hate
so
those
we have
kind of
that.
shows.
We have that in Germany. It's like German history at this point because it's so old and like it still keeps going. And like a few years ago, I think maybe 2015, 14, 15, maybe 16. No, 16 is too much. The winner, which was a girl, she ended up singing solely like folk music and stuff like that. And I didn't follow the show at the time. But when I heard about it, I was so surprised because I didn't expect anyone this young to actually be interested in doing folk music. It's such a random thing.
I mean, I'm not... How do I word this? I don't like the celebrities too much, or, you know, like Hollywood or celebrities or the music industry. I just have a
Mhm.
strong disrespect for it, like just disgenuine interest and just bad taste for it, because I feel like it just comes down to a competition of skills, and I don't agree with like pitting people against each other for their skills.
Hmm.
That's what American Idol does, for example. Like, they will just trash talk you in front of thousands, millions of people who are watching the show,
Oh
and they'll
god.
just degrade you. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you people? They just gave a shot out in the dark, and you're just gonna degrade them for their attempts in
Mm.
front of thousands? I just don't think you should put your, you should let other people rate you for your skills like that.
Hmm.
Criticism is nice, but don't go out of your way to be a jerk.
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't know if it's like that in Germany, if it's like a huge competition between everyone.
Like I said, uh, American Super Idol is like we have a something pretty much the same in Germany. It is quite the same, I would say, but I don't think they're that mean. Yeah, I've never seen American Idol, but I don't remember them being very mean. But
Maybe
um,
they're not in Germany. I mean,
there is one guy. Uh, what's his name? Uh, is that his name? No, that's not it. I don't remember. Um, he's like one of the jury. Is that the name?
judges?
Judges. Sorry.
Sure.
That's the German word. I thought it was the same. Uh, he's like a grumpy old man, and like he's the main guy, the main judge of the thing, and like he can be pretty rough. Like he used to sing in a band called Modern Talking. Dude, I can talk about Modern Talking. That's a fucking German classic. they were
Mm-hmm.
they were quite popular, not only in Germany, as far as I know, because they were making English songs. Uh, and so because he had like this popular band back in the 80s, he like thinks so high of himself and judges others by one crooked note. I don't know. I don't like the whole Hollywood stuff either. And I don't like how some people like look up to celebrities that much, and like I used to do that too, but nowadays I don't understand when people like fangirl about celebrities and stuff.
K-pop.
God, K-pop. Don't attack K-pop, man. They will come for you.
They will cut you.
Jesus, K-pop is a very special group of people. But yeah, I mean, fuck K-pop. The people, do a lot of fan service.
Yeah, I just don't. Fangirling is just really weird to me.
I mean,
It,
like a little bit, I can understand. Like every now and then, I fangirl about some things here and there too. But like about celebrities, I think most celebrities want to be, just seen as like a normal person and like don't have people screeching their name.
some
And
people
so,
live for it, though.
yes, some people. There is a German band. Uh, to pronounce it kind of English, they are called Craft Club.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the translation for it would be like Strength Club, but anyways, and so the members of the band, they are from the city I currently live in, and so sometimes you would just see them walking around,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw like the lead singer a couple of times, and there were people that would just screech his name randomly, and that's just like I couldn't imagine living like that. That must
I
be.
don't know what compels people to just lose their minds over one person. I understand
Uh,
if you're like excited to see them and stuff, but
mm,
to screech at the top of your lungs so they like, I guess to see you? I don't know.
mm, I don't know.
But
I know
it's
that's also
rough.
another thing. I don't know if that is like such a big thing in Germany, but I know in America, like some people that go crazy for celebrities, like they will follow social media very intensely and like look for what kind of celebrity is currently in this town I'm in, and then just go and take pictures just to like be like, oh yeah, I've seen this celebrity before and this one, you know.
Hmm.
That's a
One
big thing.
one thing that infuriates me is when a celebrity tries to use their popularity to sway their fans in a political climate.
Huh.
I'm sorry, that might not be a thing in Germany, but in America, it's very a big deal. In fact, it just became even bigger because there is a what they call a conservative blacklist now in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like a conservative, which is like a right-leaning support, like a Republican, I believe, they'll start like denying you jobs and stuff there and gigs and just start treating you really bad and like shun you
What? Damn.
because Hollywood is so it's such a strong political climate now, and I hate politics. I've said it so many times on this podcast, but it just hate it. It's separating Hollywood at this point, and it's just disgusting.
Mm, yeah. I don't know.
I don't
I,
know.
I don't think that is at least I maybe I just don't follow the right people. I don't really look into like news too much. And
Neither
so
do I, but living in
I don't
America, it's just
yeah,
it gets to you.
I don't think that most end quote celebrities in Germany do that. There are like some political parties that are very controversial and stuff. Uh, but if you like, there's one specific political group uh, in Germany that's like mostly hated, but then there's like, you know, the stupid people that do like it. It's just like in America with fucking some people like Trump, most people don't. Um,
Mm.
and so if I think nowadays, if you were a celebrity in Germany and like you post about that you're supportive of that political group, I think most people would be pretty upset at you because mm, I won't say that Germany is pretty uh, tolerant. Is that the word?
Yeah,
Um, but uh, you know, it's getting better. People, you know, recognize things as what actually is right and what's wrong. That's a good thing. It's getting better. Yeah, I think so.
that's
That's also
good.
like that's also the thing, like politics. But I don't know too
Hate
much about it, so I
politics.
don't want to talk about it.
That's fine. I hate it. Hollywood's just become like a pissing contest of who can suck the most political dick. Sorry.
Oof.
Yeah. Anyways, we've got like maybe 10 more minutes if you want.
Sure.
I'm not sure what else we could talk about next. Um.
Healthcare.
Oh yeah, we were gonna talk about healthcare. I was gonna say we hadn't talked about you though.
Oh man, what's that to talk about me?
Well, you're an artist. You could talk about that because I think that's very impressive.
I draw stuff for money.
That's a way to word it, right? I mean, okay.
Yeah, fuck. I'm I'm just a wee old little baby freelance artist. I yeah.
You got a cute style. I like it. It's very It reminds me, and I know a lot of artists don't like comparisons, but
Mm-hmm.
it
Say it.
reminds me of Wind Waker with it's not like a copy of Wind Waker, but it reminds me of Wind Waker in its big-eyed cartoony style, and I love it. It's
Ah,
like it's so sweet. I love it.
I know how much you like Wind Waker, so I
I
accept this.
do. I do. I love Wind Waker so much.
Yeah, I don't know. Nowadays, man, it's hard for me to recognize like me having an own style. Like, it's weird to think about. Like, I used to be the guy that's like, oh, this art piece, it looks like this artist's style, and the thought of someone else being like, oh yeah, this is Hypohate's style. I'm like, what? I don't. What kind of style? What's that? How do you recognize it? Uh, it's so weird. I don't know. I never thought. I actually really never thought that I would end up as a freelance artist. Like that's the last thing I would have imagined myself to become.
Hmm.
I
I
thought I
mean,
was gonna stay in retail for the rest of my life. Retail sucks.
I can only imagine, and I'm gonna go look for jobs today as soon as I'm done with this recording, probably.
You should
So
try it. It's worth trying. Like sometimes you can be lucky and actually get a nice you know, get a nice spot with nice people, nice coworkers. And that's one thing. Like I say I hate retail, but I can't imagine that it is as bad in Germany as it is in America. Because as far as I know, people say that people in America feel like like the customers are like a lot more entitled than I guess whatever. Like I never had that in Germany while I was working in retail.
that's good.
Yeah, I had I had a couple of weird people, but
Oh, I'm sure.
not entitled.
Yeah, you get lots of entitled people in America.
Jeez.
We can close off this podcast talking about the healthcare system, because
Oh god.
comparing them, because healthcare in America is pretty rough right now, especially for diabetics such as myself.
Oof.
Insulin costs like $300 now. Something that's mandatory for me to live costs that much. Jesus.
What a hefty price.
Luckily, I
How
have
much like
extremely good insurance,
Oh, okay.
but without it, I am pretty much screwed.
Do you know if you pay for insurance? Like
Yes, you pay for insurance.
do you have to pay it out of your pocket even if you go to work?
Some companies do have an insurance policy plan for their workers. My father has one currently. That is a reason why I'm able to afford insulin right now.
Mm.
There are better
So,
options that we're looking into, though. But
huh.
it's
Do you know if like you don't have to stick with a certain insurance that your job provides, right?
um what was the
Because
question again,
that's
so I can like rehear that, so I can like
like you don't have to stick. Like I know some companies have their own insurance, right? Yeah,
yes.
and so when you start working there, you don't have to stick with the same insurance. Yeah.
No, no, I don't think so. It's not
Okay.
like you have to switch over.
Yeah. Okay. I was curious because I know in Germany if you get insurance, uh,
I mean, once you quit
don't
working for
have
that company, of course you will have to stop using their insurance. But
to.
if you have outside insurance, you can still hold on to it, I believe.
Hmm. Yeah, that's another big thing, insurance. Like, I'm surprised that in America there's a thing as like people not having insurance whatsoever. Like, that's, I don't know, that's such a big thing, having insurance. Like,
I mean,
work stuff.
I don't know what the price for. Okay, here's the thing. Ah man, I want to talk about this too on my podcast. Ugh, capitalism in America. In the healthcare system, it's a capitalistic like system. So pretty much private-owned businesses own pharmaceuticals. It's not government-owned. So they pretty much control and fluctuate the prices of medications in America, and they get greedy, of course, as all corporates do. And they start to overcharge people, and the insurance just rises up to compensate for it. So it's an endless cycle of medication getting bumped up for prices.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
really dislike that.
As do I.
You know, I don't remember if that was like a conspiracy or some shit like that, but
Probably
Oh, God.
is, let's be honest.
maybe. I don't remember anyways what exactly the point was.
I don't know. I'm poking worms right now.
Whatever. I thought you didn't stop poking them.
Well, I got them yesterday. I'm just poking them now because they look cute. Anyways.
Yeah, health. I don't know.
Healthcare
Like,
in America sucks. In conclusion.
yeah.
I
I mean,
hope it gets better, and we're trying to sign bills, I believe, to pass laws that will make them better. But no luck so far.
oof. Let's hope that gets better, because, oh boy. Do you even, like, if you go to a doctor, do you have to pay for it?
For
Even
the
if you
doctor
have-
visit, yes.
Yeah.
Insurance
Even
will
with
cover
insurance?
most of it, yes. For what?
But you still have to pay a little bit of it, or what?
Yes, you pay a copay, that's what they're called.
What's that supposed to mean, though?
Insurance pays most of it. You still have to take a little portion of it and pay out of your own pocket.
That's
So,
rough, man.
when I had to go to therapists, the copay was $60 each visit,
Oh,
which was ridiculous because don't get me started on my therapist, man. You know about this.
yep. Yep.
Yeah. So, insurance paid most of it, but we still had to pay, a copay, which was just like a portion of our own money. So yeah, doctor visits do get expensive. So if you are sick, you have to usually tough it out, or risk paying just because you got like a cold.
Oh, so when you work and you get sick, do you need like a doctor's notice or something?
Yes, you need a doctor's notice.
So you have to go and like pay for it.
Yeah, you're
Doctor-
right. For the doctor visit to see if you are like eligible or contagious to stay out of work, and then you got to get a paper for it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But hey, if you're a child, you get a sucker out of it. I mean,
Oh wow, what a plus! I'm an adult. I can't buy a sucker for myself.
you gonna have
I
the
go to
money though
work.
when you have to pay for copay for doctor visits? I don't think so. That doctor better give me a sucker.
Man, that's one thing I hate about Germany. I mean the doctor visits are free. That's a good thing. But like, if you start missing in work, like the very first day you say you can't go into work, you have to go to the doctor to get the notice. And like, you have to give your workplace that notice, that little note, like within 3 days.
Oh man.
And that's like 2 to 3 days. It's the same with school nowadays. And like, if you give it back too late, they will like be all pissy about it. And it's the same with doctors. Even they complain that like if you go, like for example, if you get sick on Fridays, most doctors don't work on Saturdays or Sundays. So like you have to wait till Monday, which is already like a 3-day period. And if you're still sick, or like if you feel better, and if you go to the doctor on Monday, the doctor will be like, you don't look sick anymore, but you were sick on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do? If you miss one day of work, you have to like catch up by overtime.
Are
During
you
time.
asking?
No, no, it's a statement.
Oh. In America, you can get paid leave for being sick if you have a note, I think.
Mm.
Dependent on the company that you work for. I'll say that. I could be wrong. Don't want to spread any misinformation. But
Oh,
you
man.
can get paid sick days. I know my friend Rob that you know. He
Mhm.
gets like 22 days that he can take off whenever he feels like it. He's got 22 days a year, for example, and
Oh,
he can choose when to take a day off if he's sick or something. And it's a paid leave.
oh, you see, we have the same. It's like I think 25 or 26 days a year.
Yeah.
Uh, but you normally can't really just take them off like randomly. You have to like plan them ahead because they are used for like taking holiday and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, something some people do is that they'll have coworkers work on their behalf, like
Huh.
for over what are they called,
Overtime.
overtime.
Hmm.
My grandmother who works at the hospital, she like will sometimes cover a friend's shift or a friend will cover her shift, but they don't get that pay. The person who covered the shift does.
Oh, what the fuck?
So let's say I asked you to cover a shift for me Monday. You go in Monday, you get my payment for Monday. Because I didn't work it, you worked it.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it usually people are happy to work, over, to get extra money. So it's not that big
Mm.
of a deal. It's not very competitive because you either get money or you get a day off. I mean, you choose.
Yeah.
It's a win-win, unless you're like in desperate need of money.
God, that's how I did it when I was working too, though. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you worked at the
Um.
bakery.
Yeah. Um. Though. Uh. Yeah. It's like, say, I normally you get one day off aside from Sunday. Sunday is always off. Uh.
It's not in America.
uh. You get like one day off, and like say you want to have Friday off instead of Monday. You go talk to your coworker and ask if you want to switch it up. And so, if yes, then yes. But hmm, I don't know. I don't. Eh, I can't wait to go back to work though.
I'm excited and nervous for these job applications I'm going to be going to soon.
Hmm, it's gonna be fun. I mean, I understand that you're nervous, but it's gonna be exciting to like get a first job and stuff. It's nice. It's a nice experience, and it's important to make that experience.
Yeah, I need the experience. I think that's why I haven't really gotten a job yet because I don't know how it is in Germany, but in America, you desperately need some sort of experience to even be considered to get a job.
Yeah,
You can't
I've
just
heard of
graduate
that.
from high school and you expect to get a job. They're going to look for not only qualifications but past experience. And when you don't have experience because you're, fresh off the battle bus, I mean,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
just like
no,
a loop.
that's not really a big thing in Germany. Maybe at some places, but like some places may ask that you have basic knowledge of some things, or like that you've already worked in this thing
Mm-hmm.
before something, but normally it's not a requirement.
It's pretty much a requirement here that you graduate high school, and if you get a criminal record, which I guess is anywhere really, that
Uh-huh.
severely negates your chances of getting a job.
Hmm.
Like if you have a crime record, people are like bad news. Same for tattoos. Like if you have visible
Oh.
tattoos, people don't like that in jobs.
Yeah, I think that's the same in Germany. I mean, like when I was starting to work at the bakery, we got a little pamphlet, uh, where it said like hygiene stuff and also like things they wouldn't like you to wear because it's like a risk or something. Uh, like long earrings, long jewelry, fingernail stuff, and it also said that you should avoid having colorful hair, like
Oh
bright
no.
colorful hair, and also no tattoos. But that's
Yeah.
such a stupid, in my opinion, that's such a stupid thing to like make it a requirement.
Who cares
Not a
if you have
requirement,
cool
but
hair? I mean,
I mean, hair is like the least of a thing you can be upset about because it's hair. Everybody gets like fucking bored and like goes to cut their hair. If I can get a haircut but not color my hair, like I don't
mm,
get it. It's
I
stupid.
don't know if I would have to cut my hair for the play or change my hair for the places I'm working at or going to try and get a job at.
Oh, I hope not.
Me too. I know the game store that I wanted to work at. It's like super LGBT friendly because like almost all
Mm.
the people there are like bi. I think one of them is like a lesbian for sure because her girlfriend comes in a lot.
How do you know? Do you know
Because I've
them?
I've been there so often. Yeah, I know
Oh,
them and
oh
they
yeah,
know
yeah,
me
yeah,
at this
totally.
point. They call me by my one of them calls me by my last name every time I come in, and it's just like it's a nice homey environment. I know it's not supposed to be like a comfortable place to work, or well, let me word that better. It's not supposed to be like a. I shouldn't look at a job as like ooh fun. I should look at it as like oh serious job. But that place
No,
is
it's
very relaxed, and I think it would be a good environment for me to be in.
I don't I don't think you need to like be so serious about it and feel bad about when you think of it as like a comfortable place.
Oh no, jobs should be totally be comfortable.
Like if you're lucky enough to get a job at a place you already know, or like maybe know people in, then fucking go for it.
For
You
sure.
know.
I mean, that's another thing. Oof. Something that I've noticed, or I think, is that as newer generations come along, the older generations that are kind of stuck in their ways will start to dissipate.
What does
That
that
sounds
mean?
that sounds horrible. God.
I don't know what that word means.
Disappear.
Oh.
Just like spread away or spread apart and go
Oh.
away.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that this generation is more open-minded to things than the previous generation and the generation before that.
Oh. Yeah.
So I'm expecting to see a lot of changes in my country
Mm-hmm.
fairly soon.
Yeah.
So, and not just like politically, but also like job-wise.
Mm.
So, I don't think you're gonna like not be qualified for a job if you've got a tattoo or like colored hair.
Yeah. I think in general that shouldn't be, seen as a bad thing. It's just,
Uh,
eh. Like I don't know. I think that makes a person a lot more interesting. Uh, you know, I don't know. It's just aesthetics.
mm-hmm.
I have an alien on my hand, on my arm. It's just for aesthetics, man.
If you
Jokingly
won't,
enough. Hmm?
hmm? No, go on.
Sorry. Jokingly enough, people said that this fucking alien head fits my aesthetic. I'm like, okay, cool, I guess.
I do want a tattoo, but I also don't want one.
Eh, it's not that big of a.
If anything, I might get one of those temporary tattoos that last like a month. I don't know.
Yeah,
Those are things.
those.
I really want a tattoo of my Sona's like little insignia. That's got on his forehead. So we've been going on for like over an hour now. Dang. This might be the longest podcast I've had so far.
Oh,
But
man.
might want to end it here because I'm starting to choke up on everything. I spit one down the wrong throat hole. Anyways, I've been Silta. Thank you all for tuning in this week's episode of Clickcast. Again, I apologize for the delay. It's like been a month since I've last uploaded anything. But I'm back now, and in the next few days I'll have more videos coming out. I have some in the works I want to start doing, so expect those. And if you'd like to, you can follow my friend Hypohate here on Twitter. I'll link their stuff. You want to plug in your stuff, let me know, and I'll do that.
Oh man, not much to plug in, just my Twitter.
Yes, at Hypohate on Twitter.com. And I'll put a link down in the description, so you guys make sure to check that out. Anyways, thank you for, coming here today and discussing Germany and America.
Oh yeah, it was nice. It's fun.
It was. I learned things.
Me too.
Yes. So, again, thank you all for showing up. It was fun, and I'll try to have some stuff out later in the next week or two. Anyways, goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.